What is the Cellular Performance Institute, or better known as CPI? I've been hearing that name on every part of the internet.
With stem cells.
More stem cells.
To answer that question myself, along with one of my best buds and jiu-jitsu documentary pioneers, Michael Plaster, have been invited down to CPI to film the #1 bantamweight and one of the fastest rising stars in the world, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Fresh off his win from the biggest fight of his career and securing his spot to challenge for the coveted bantamweight throne. Join us on this epic 3-day adventure as we get insights into why CPI is changing people's lives for the better. To start off this journey, we are up well before the crack of dawn to catch the train from Los Angeles Union Station down to San Diego. We arrive at Santa Fe Station in San Diego, where we are picked up from the fantastic staff of CPI and taken a short trip across the border to Tijuana, Mexico.
I am Sugar Sean O'Malley, and I'm the champ. Some people might say, some people might argue that, but I'm the #1 ranked bantamweight in the UFC. My buddy Tim, who I'm sure you guys will talk to too, messaged CPI on Instagram and said, hey, Sugar has a huge fight coming up. We'd love to come down.
So I was just kind of looking around, and then it popped up CPI. I think I had Sean text Joe Rogan and say, who does he use for stem cells? And Joe sent us the CPI. So I messaged him, looked into it, and I was like, holy smokes, this could be like a lifesaver. So got a hold of Scotty, and they got us set up, and man, it's been a great trip. Like, it really has. This has been the best hospital I've ever been to. Like, all the staff is so nice. We've been taken care of so well. We'll definitely come back multiple times.
As we arrive at CPI, we meet Scotty Nelson, and we immediately feel his warm nature. After chatting to some of the patients, we made our way to the podcast room.
Welcome to the CPI podcast. Too high?
That's too much.
Sorry, I got so excited.
Threw him off.
Welcome to the CPI podcast. I'm missing my co-pilot here today, Ed Clay, but he said he was sorry he couldn't be here to hang out with you guys, big fans, and he wanted to be here. And I got some really cool people with me here today. This is really cool. Tim Welch, Sugar Sean, welcome you guys. Thanks for coming down to CPI. Man, I've had a great time already hanging out with you guys. So.
Dude, it's been awesome so far. I mean, the whole staff, the hospital you got going on, the dinner you took us to last night, like, we're definitely going to come back. It's been awesome.
Man, I noticed a lot of cool stuff between kind of like my growing up and coming up into martial arts, and like how you have too, and like figuring out meditation and figuring out weed and figuring out some of these things, you know, and man, tell us a little bit, you know, about that. Like,
Our parents have no idea how to be healthy. They're now that they're starting to be like, have to go to the doctor and then find out all the shit that's wrong with them. They're starting to go like become a little bit more healthy, but it was really through fighting that I was like, learn how to eat healthy because I want to perform better. And fighting is just those little advantages that can win or lose a fight. So we started, learning about meditation. I think Tim can talk about it more because he broke his jaw. And he started listening to Sam Harris, I think, right? And started meditating, kept telling me about it. I started it. And meditation, it's not, and when I talk about it, I feel like people think like, oh, you just like sit there for hours or whatever. But it's literally just finding 10 minutes throughout the day. I do it every morning for 10 minutes. Throw it on 10% Happier, Waking Up app. You can Google or YouTube like 10-minute morning meditation, a guided one. And just finding it throughout the day, that's really, I feel like, changed my life completely. How I have interactions with people, how I even just my perspective on things. So eating, and then meditation and sleeping.
You know, when I got into jiu-jitsu in 1995, I would like literally try to drag everyone to the mat. You know what I mean? You gotta come try this stuff. You gotta come try this stuff. And it was a lot different back then.
Yeah.
It was a little more violent, you know, like we were fighting, you know, it was like jiu-jitsu was like your entry level into Valley Tudo. It wasn't even called MMA yet. And, but what I always loved is that if I could get someone to stick with it for a little while, how much it changed their life.
My last fight, obviously I fought Peter Yan. Took more damage than I've probably ever taken in a fight. Head damaged. Definitely got punched a couple times. Had a little bit of lingering headache. So I'm super excited to try the chamber. I think I'm doing that after this, the hyperbaric chamber.
You know, like if you could get this in Phoenix, you wouldn't be here. Right. You know, and it's the same for the cancer patients and the autoimmune patients. If they could get the care that they needed, either legally or affordably in the United States, then there'd be no reason to be here. So, you know, you talk about gratitude, man. Just take a walk around and read some of the messages from the patients to each other's on the walls. It's
dude, I was already doing that. It's like makes you want to choke up.
I know, it's hard crazy. I was like, okay.
Well, guys, it's great to have you on, man. I appreciate you taking some time off. I'll get you in that hyperbaric right now, and let me know when I can come out to Phoenix, man.
Dude,
I'm down to bring my bike. I'll bring 2. You guys will go riding.
Dude, hell yeah! Right when we got off, I mean, right when we met, you could tell we'd get along with you pretty good. Thanks for taking care of us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you guys are good people.
After the podcast, Sean and Tim continued their treatments in the hyperbaric chamber.
Believe it or not, his mom and dad are brother and sister.
Great parents, though. We are here in the hyperbaric chamber, about to get some oxygen.
The hyperbaric chamber, also known as HBOT, is a type of treatment used to speed up healing on any part of the body that is starving of oxygen.
I am.
Oh, yeah, oh man.
I don't have any dress-up clothes. Maybe I can borrow your outfit, Sergio?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Gracias.
Oh, God damn it. I'm stuck with these 2 guys. They're gonna lock me in with these 2 guys.
After a full day of treatments, myself along with Michael Plaster took to Plaster de Tijuana to see what we could capture.
We're here in Tijuana getting some shots with the drone. This is the border wall. There's lots of art. It's called North Beach. And here are the shots that we got.
It's hard not to feel gratitude when coming to CPI. As soon as you arrive, you feel a warm feeling coursing through the veins of this hospital. It's the lifeblood. You feel it from the staff, the patients. Real good is being done here, and is catered towards everyone. From Russ, a loving father and husband from the East Coast, who damaged his kidneys scuba diving, to combat sports superstars, coming here to heal their bodies before the biggest fights of their career. For some, it's to heal. For others, it's to be their best. Here, Tim Welch is getting a treatment of IV ozone, Myers cocktail, and NAD+. While Sean O'Malley was restricted by the UFC not to receive any IV treatments at this time.
Planned on going through a war with Peter Yan, and that's kind of what happened. But for the most part, like, my body feels pretty good. I've had this quadricep tendonitis in my knee for a couple years, and my knee's been bothering me a little bit even before the fight. So, and in the fight, he got kicked a couple times, he got stomped a couple times. So, you know, it was a little inflamed, and perfect timing because we already had this scheduled. Mainly scheduled it because Tim's shoulder's been so messed up over the last 5-6 months from jiu-jitsu. He got caught in an omoplata. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it.
My first MRI, the doctor said my bones in my shoulder are bone on bone. So I researched the stem cells, and they said they can grow back that layer and they can heal everything around it, and you can skip the surgery, and it's like almost like a miracle drug that's not talked about a lot. And I was looking for somewhere in the US, but the US didn't have anything near at the level that CPI has. So I was like, let's rip it.
I'm just gonna start to
Hi.
them.
Hey, how are you? Good. It's Sean.
Well, we just had patient in Sean O'Malley. He had a big file a while ago, and he had some injuries. One of the main one was in his right knee, so that's why we needed to inject some stem cell. We did a previous MRI just to make sure that there was not like torn meniscus or anything like that. Apparently there was just a lot of inflammation because of the the lesion that he created. We did put 20 million stem cell directly to the joint. When we go directly to the joint of any part of the body, we can target also tendons and ligaments. So because of the specific type of the lesion, that was the best approach for him. And we always combine our stem cells with a lysate of PRP. So it's like basically fertilizer for the cells, and in that way they can attach better to the walls. That was it.
Yeah, great job.
That was it?
Yes. Okay.
That was it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, shit. So since we injected right there, say I had inflammation up here, will it attack all the area?
Yeah.
It'll attack where the inflammation is?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, please.
Thanks for stabbing me.
So I just take out your stem cells, okay? This is 20. I'll have the PRP, and I'll have the other 10 there, so we can do the 30 into your shoulder.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So they usually like are freezing them just by body heat.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay. This is the thing that takes the longest.
okay.
Okay, I'll see you guys.
I'm pumped, dude. I haven't been able to really roll since June, so I'm so excited.
He has an injury in his left shoulder, so today we inject him with stem cells. There were 2 specific areas that we injected with him because of the lesion that he had. So it was the AC joint and the supraspinalis tendon, which that makes the stem cells go everywhere, so we can heal all the structures that are around.
The broken jaw was probably a 10. This was probably a 6 or a 7. Real quick. Bada bing, bada boom.
But just in case, let me know. Okay, it's gonna be a quick IV.
Yeah, most hospitals I've been to, they just give you crap food, and it always boggles my mind. I'm like, all these foods clearly cause inflammation in your body, and we're supposed to be here healing, and you're giving us these foods. But here at CPI, they've been feeding us pure quality organic foods, organic juices, and the food's just been so quality, which is really important to us too.
They said they do them in the wiener.
They do wiener ones. I'd do one today if they said, hey, you want one? I'd give it.
Did anybody eat breakfast at the hotel? Yes.
I had about 13 pancakes.
On our final day at CPI, we made a stop to get all the cancer patients as well as staff flowers. This was Sean O'Malley's idea.
Lots of choices. I need help picking though, I'm not very good Actually,
We're getting flowers for the cancer patients, all the nurses, and all the great staff at CPI.
Your choice. Una docena de rosas individualmente.
Roja, la quiere todas rojas. What about this one? Do you like it?
Yeah.
get those ones, get those ones. Get
Bueno,
those
es para
ones.
regalo, para...
Okay. Is this enough flowers for all of them? We gotta find something else to get our girls too. Muchas gracias, mi amigo.
Yes, sir. Throughout this trip, we were blown away at how generous and kind Sean O'Malley and Tim Welch were. From the respect they showed to the staff, to visiting cancer patients multiple times.
We got flowers for everyone. We should have grabbed a couple vases. Yeah. Probably. Right? Hola, ¿cómo estás? We brought flowers. What's your favorite color?
Any color. Oh,
Any color?
thank you.
Careful, I can get a little pokies on them. You, my dear.
Oh, perfect, my favorite. You're so sweet. Thank you guys.
You know I had to get a pink one for you. I know you.
It's very beautiful. Thank you.
Would you like a flower? Which one would you like? I feel like you're
I'd like the yellow.
a yellow. Oh,
Oh, they are. I've had people even
well, this one has yellow in it. Picked with love. Is it? Let's see.
Good stuff.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Right on.
Sugar? Yum.
Right on.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
Very cool. And a pink flower to go.
All right.
Yeah. Would you mind signing it? He's going to lose his mind.
Is that him tossing someone?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
great, great.
So I asked him to print it, and he's so excited. O-R.
C-O-N-O-R?
C-O-N-N-O-R.
Keep calling her, I'll sign it again. 'Cause the last one was very good.
That's perfect. Oh, you have just made him. He's
good,
going to be,
good.
when I come home with that,
Good, well.
he's going to be so happy.
During the Power of the Mind class, Tim and Sean shared their insight on fighting and overcoming adversity.
You may or may not know this, but the hospital was originally opened, Ed Clay, who's the CEO, for his mom. And she was the second patient here. She was actually being treated for rheumatoid arthritis. And he found the hospital because of Coley's toxins. Coley's toxins in the 1800s was used to reset the immune system, not just for cancer, but also for autoimmune issues. And when we reopened the hospital, it had been closed for about 18 months, and we brought back a lot of the doctors and stuff, and they wanted to continue to do cancer care. And so Ed really looked at it because he was a high-level MMA fighter at one point too, but also coach. He loved coaching. And so he had this idea of these people they're in a fight. We need to create a fight camp for them. And when you're in a fight camp, if you're fighting a karate guy, you need to have the best karate guy on your side, and you have to have the best anti-karate guy on his side. So he said, look, we need homeopaths and oncologists. We need NDs and MDs. And he really realized how important the mindset was of winning a fight. These guys can attest to it. If you don't think that you're going to win, your chances of win go, way down. So that's why we have the Power of the Mind class, and that's why we have the psychologists. Have you guys spent time with Eddie and Dr. Diaz? Amazing. Yes, I see a lot of heads shaking. Normally the guys don't shake their head, and the women all do. That's how we are. And then nutrition. There's no way. It's crazy to us. We had an MD Anderson doctor oncologist come spend some time with us here, taught our doctors about IPT, and we could never convince him that nutrition meant anything. And so for me, when I trained at the Olympic Training Center, they give you specific colored cards. So when you go through the cafeteria of what you're allowed to eat, what you can't eat, they control the portions and what time. So why is it for these super high level athletes that nutrition is important, but for other fighters it's not? So I'm glad that it felt like you were here looking for a knockout and you got the MMA feeling, because that was really the whole basis, the whole idea of how do we create a camp around each one of the patients to support them in every avenue that we knew how to create a winning situation for fighters. So that's super cool. Because of the cellular therapies and the lab that we developed for the cellular therapies, like the VG and stuff, it turns out it's much easier to grow stem cells than it is dendritic or natural killer cells. And I heard that a couple of you guys wanted to meet them, and they're happy to do some pictures. But I was hoping you guys could come up here and share a little bit about who you are. And one of the things that I've found has been really helpful for our patients here. We had Forrest Griffin, another UFC fighter that was down here, and Dominic Cruz and some of the other guys, is things that they've learned to keep their head in the right space. Because when we walk into a cage to fight, our brains think, something bad could really happen. So Sean, Tim, if you guys want to come up here, we'll introduce yourselves.
It's so nice to be here and meet you guys, and it's actually a real honor to meet you guys and be around you guys. But one thing that I've really focused on and stuff in my fighting career and just in life in general when I'm going through tough stuff is just really connecting with my breath and just following my breath and just being in the moment.
And this is Sean. He's actually coming off a really huge fight. He's going to fight for the title next, probably in July. And how about you? You got some tips, suggestions for the crew here?
Caught me off guard. I don't like speaking in front of groups. I get nervous. But
you can hit me and just get in your
But I can
mood.
fight in front of millions of people, and I'm very calm. But yeah, it's been really cool to come up here and meet all you guys. You guys put a smile on my face, and You guys are awesome, and we're very excited to come back. I don't have any super motivational thing to say.
Well, how about this?
but
So
thank
you're in
you
the
guys.
locker room. You're about to walk out, right? Mind's going crazy.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
Okay, so how do you get to that area to where your mind's not going crazy?
Before a fight, I feel very calm. And like Tim said, meditation, I found probably 5 years ago, taking 10 minutes out of the day here and there and just kind of connecting with your breath and healing. Like when I have an injury, I feel like if I can close my eyes and really breathe into certain areas. For example, my knee, I got stem cells in it today. My knee's been hurting. Can connect with my breath and really just feel like I'm putting good energy, healing energy towards my knee. I feel like that goes a long way. And quieting the mind and really being able to battle, countering every negative thought with 2 positive thoughts. And that's kind of stuck with me and helped me, continue to grow as a human, not even from fighting, but just as a human in general. So.
How did you guys start getting into fighting and being MMA fighters?
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I wanted to get chicks.
Yeah.
I wanted to get chicks, but then I started. I was passionate about it, the training, the process, just like going to the gym, and I just fell in love with improving and getting better at something. So that's kind of. It started out with chicks, but now it's continuing to grow.
So serious question: has it improved the chicks?
I found a perfect girl, so yes.
Yeah. So he's leaving. Normally I would have them come to Power of the Mind, but tomorrow is his daughter's birthday, so they have to leave early.
What was apparent throughout this trip was that Tim and Sean were not your average fighters, with hard exteriors and stoic personalities. I was amazed at their mindset and how they brought the techniques of meditation as well as health and wellness into their everyday lives and training. This exemplifies Sean O'Malley's rapid rise to stardom in the UFC. After 5 days of treatment, we parted ways and returned home. For us, it was to Los Angeles. For Sean and Tim, it was back to Phoenix, Arizona.
Let's talk about Tijuana, dude. We went to CHIPSA Hospital, CPI.
Stem cells.
CPI Stem Cells. 10 out of 10 trip. They make it so convenient. You literally fly to San Diego. You're 5 minutes away from the hotel. You get off the airplane, go to your hotel, stay the night, whatever night. They come pick you up in the morning, drive you 20 minutes across the border. Simple, just right there. The hospital is probably another 10 minutes once you get into Tijuana. You go in there, do all your treatments, and the staff is 10 out of 10. Great people. It was so fun, dude. I missed that place.
Yeah, as soon as we got there, too, we did not know what to expect. It was like, damn, we're in Mexico. It was kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But our buddy Scotty and his buddy Ed started this hospital, put it all together, got all the nurses, got all the people. They host cancer patients there. Each day we got to go see and talk to the cancer patients.
Dude, so I got stem cells in my knee. My knee wasn't super bad, but I've been having knee problems for the last couple years. It's been, not even a week. So it's hard to kind of say, but my knee is feeling a lot better. Like, I don't know if it's hard to say, but I'm feeling noticeably better. How's your shoulder?
Each day it's getting better and better. They said the shoulder shots are the most painful. CPI, the CHIPS Hospital, that place is dialed in. That's where we're going to keep going.
Oh, God, 100%. And then you go, like, each time you go, it's like you go with a different group from people around the world that are going for whatever reason they're going for. Tijuana trip, 10 out of 10. I highly suggest it.